Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad here this morning on Hump Day. Getting through this week pretty fast and getting through this month real fast because we're looking at Friday is October. September is about out of here. So I want to wish a very happy birthday. If you're not watching the show, my beautiful daughter, Wendy. So maybe you can watch this on YouTube. Happy birthday, baby. We all love you very, very much and appreciate all the things you do. All right, let's get on with our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and the hardworking crew up there. We appreciate all the work they do and them sponsorship of their section of the show. Looking at high today, right at 85, low at 70, same as it was yesterday. And water temperature at the end of the pier, same as yesterday at 83.2. So we're looking at the high, it's going to be pretty steady all week and going on into a beautiful weekend to getting outdoors. We've talked about it. Our river reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. On the outdoors with Mountain Dew. The Apalachicola Brunstown. How about a 9.7 and a good steady drop. Looking good there. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville, 6.5. And ironically, it's sort of leveled out because we haven't any rain. It's getting real dry now. We need some rain, said no one. But we're looking at the river is just a completely reflection over there of what's going on. So it is going to level off right there. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at pretty decent tides today. Like I say, it is the 29th. And we've got a strong tide today. We're looking at the high tide is at 2:44 this morning, dropping out until about 1:15 right after lunch, and it's going to start coming in. So good, strong falling tide today. If you like fishing, that falling tide is a strong falling tide. And the winds be coming out only at about 6 from the southeast. So we're in pretty good shape there. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I want to share something with you. I hadn't really planned to, just spontaneous. We were over there this past weekend for Wendy's birthday, and I just got a couple of pictures of the three generations there in the kitchen up at Wendy's kitchen, and there we just had a big old lunch there, and they didn't know I was taking a picture. Whitney saw me taking a picture, and Gail fixed Wendy's favorite lunch. Her favorite meal is lima beans and rice and a pound cake. And so we cooked that and we had a great time there. Okay, I want to just share that with you. A lot of y'all know the family and all. So let's get to some fishing pictures. We had a great time. All right, here we go. Blackfin tuna. How about catching one pretty close? This is Robert Dillman sent this in a Panama City Fishing. Bill Heath caught an 18-pounder a mile off the beach and close to the pass. They saw it jump, and that's what's fun about it. They saw it jump and went over there and started casting toward it, and that's a great story. That's some good eating right there, so good job, guys. All right, I got a kick out of this. My buddy Harris Marshall, he's the guy that built his own boat up here in Lynn Haven, and he's poling along, but this is so true. You push, number one. Number two, you locate them. Number three, you stop. And number four, you cast, but you don't want to do number five. You don't want to spook them. So he did this, and that happens so much in clear water we have now. So you really want to catch something, but you spook them a lot of times when you're doing that kind. Okay. Jerry Forehand sent this past Saturday, Apalachicola Base. He had 2 40-inch cobia, 15 lane, 3 mangrove. Here it is. Look at that cobia, folks. I got a kick out of seeing those cobia being caught. All right. That's nice right there, Jerry. Thanks for sharing that. All right, I'm going to do a dove report later on. Billy Grantham sent this down. Chris was short of the limit. He actually had 11. So that's good shooting, Chris. Good picture there. Okay, that's some good dove shoots going on. How about a Howard Creek? This is a Howard Creek frog. I'm telling y'all how big the frogs are down at Howard Creek. How about that? This was special to me. Ed Popple, he's one of my high school teammates, and Tucker, that's his grandson, on his first Wakulla Springs top tower jump on his 13th birthday with his teammates and his grandpa, and also a picture of what used to be there. So what's special about this, Wakulla Springs is just a cool area, and it got just so much good, it has so much good swimming stuff. But way back in the day, this is what it used to look like. But the big thing was trying to jump off that top tower. You were a brave man if you could jump off the top one. Most boys couldn't do it. So that was just, that was a picture was taken in the 40s. That's how Wakulla Springs, of course, been there forever. But Ed Ball bought it, and then the state bought it from the Ed Ball family. So that's a cool place to visit, an outdoorsman. Tony Bullock talking about dove shoot. This is they do the 13th annual family dove shoot, and here's the kids and all been out there, so they've had a good time, and those kids making great memories, and I'm sure they had a good dove shoot there. All right, Tony, good job with the family. Okay, Brock Meyer Brock's been on the show, and he's been doing a great job. I'm gonna get him to come on the show first part of next week. My first inshore grouper, okay, he caught this off the bank, okay, right off the shore there, catching a grouper, 17 inch. So, you don't have to have a boat to catch a grouper. Here's a better shot of it right here. Good job, Brock. I'm gonna get him to come on the show and tell us how he did it, and you can pretty well see where it's been doing. He messaged this to me. I've been tearing them up off the kayak about a mile offshore. Saw blackfin tuna yesterday, but this is probably one they just caught. But I couldn't chase them down fast enough. And you can see these pictures here. Nice Spanish there. Look at here, mangrove and king. This all up off the kayak with the king. So he's doing a great job. And here's what I like about Brock. He's doing such a variety. He's fishing from bridges. He's fishing from the shore. He's fishing from the kayak, and he's fishing from the beach. So, but he's adapted himself to, and he's been very successful at it. He's really putting a lot of time and energy into it, and I really get a kick out of hearing this stuff and all. Okay, here one more dove picture. Dove flying good today. Chris and Avery Pavick, and taking the kids out there on a hunt. Okay, I blew it up a little bit. Okay, so that takes care of some of the pictures, and like I said, we're going to talk about. Let's go and do a dove report right now while we're talking about it. The dove flew well this past weekend from the reports I got. I didn't get to go. We were up in Tennessee at a birthday party, so we had I talked to several people during the day, and they were flying good. They were steady, and they said a lot of them were migratory already, so that's good to hear. And this weekend now, a lot of times people just go that open weekend and just, okay, that's over for the season. The next couple of weeks, those second and third weekends are really good, because what has happened, and stop and think about it, I've seen this happen before. Some of the dove over here in Field A, okay, they've been shot at, they're a little spooky and all. They're gonna fly over here to Field B, where nobody's been shooting at them. And that's where you go, to Field B. And that little pattern, especially if you got a large enough area. And if you gotta go back to Field A, then go back to a different area and get it. And don't forget to use dove decoys. They work. I didn't believe in them a long time, and Stan Kirkland convinced me of them. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I want to do a little section here on where to go fishing in the fall fishing spots. And a lot of times I do the top 10 to do a combination. I was thinking last night, I want to divide it up a little bit. Of course, I want to do freshwater and saltwater. I always want to do that. But on freshwater, I want to break it down into the creeks on one segment, maybe in the next segment, we'll do the ponds and lakes and rivers. But today I want to do the creeks, and then on saltwater, I want to do a little section here just on fishing from the shore. It's surf or either around the bay, and then the next one I do inshore fishing. So I'm going to do it's going to be a couple of days worth of just spots, really good spots to go here in the Florida Panhandle to catch some fish this fall. So I'm going to start off with the freshwater creeks, and the first one, and I'm not going to show you to them on the y'all pretty well know where they are. If you don't, I'll do it on Friday's fishing report, maybe show you a couple of them. And this is not in any particular order. They're all good. Mainly are these feeder creeks, all of them. Pine Log Creek over here at Pine Log State Forest, that is a steady one to go along around all that Choctawhatchee River system feeding into it. Choctawhatchee has some great feeder creeks. So Pine Log Creek and also Black Creek feeds into it. Okay, so those two right there in Choctawhatchee. Florida, we're going to get over here to Apalachicola. Florida River, we're north of Weewall there, between Weewall and Bristol. Florida River, they call it Florida River, but it's a feeder creek into the big one. And also next to Kennedy Creek. So those two areas right there, Florida River and Kennedy Creek, I fished them as a kid and and off and on. And there's some great fishing this time of the year in the fall. It's not crowded, and there's some good steady fishing. So Carl Andrews, keep that in mind. Give me a call. Also wrote down Depot Creek. Depot Creek feeds into Lake Wimico. We've talked about it before and shown you some great pictures from Depot Creek. It's a steady area to go and learn to fish Depot Creek. It's a good water fishing, and it's a unique area too. It's not that far from the Gulf of Mexico, but it sort of goes north. Okay, and then the other one I wrote down on the far eastern end. I wrote down Whiskey George Creek. It's good this time of the year. Carabel River, up the river as you get on into Tate's Hell, that area is really strong. And you can go by sea quarters and get your worms and crickets and just go up the Carabel River. So those creeks and rivers right there are really strong. Now let's jump to saltwater fishing from the shore. Now like I say, it could be beach fishing or fishing on a bay. And the first one I wrote down was Deepwater Point right there as Grand Lagoon comes out into. And what's great about this, you can walk to them. As Grand Lagoon comes out in San Andrew Bay at the state park. And again, Jeff and I were talking about this right before the show started. Try to get you, if you can, a state park pass. If you like to go to areas of fish and just hang around, take good pictures and all, a state park pass is $60 for the individual and like $120 for the family. And that works at all the state parks in Florida. I've been by one for years. Jeff has him one, and it's just well worth it. And also at St. Andrews State Park and some of them, they'll give you the combination where you can go 24/7. Now at St. Joe State Park and some of the others, you can't do that. They don't want anybody in there after dark, and they do it different ways. But the fishing is so good at St. Andrews State Park. They're good enough to let us go in. And years ago, there used to be a little group. One person would buy the year pass, and they'd all chip in. And that person would buy it, then he'd call and give all his buddies the combination. But they don't try to do that anymore. That's just not good. Okay, Deepwater Point number 2, St. George Island State Park. And I don't know if you can get in that at night or not. That's interesting. Let me know if you can get in there. Ned Maxwell, you guys who go there a lot, let me know if you can get in there 24/7. Number 3, Indian Pass, right there where Apalachicola comes in. Fall flounder fishing is good there, but you got to move around and find where the flounder are going out. Don't tell nobody else. And number 4, Graydon Beach State Park. I talk about it on a regular basis. Go early, try to beat the crowd there. The crowd is not near as bad in the fall as it is in the summer. Go early, fish the first couple hours of daylight at Graydon Beach State Park. And then the number 5 area was Mexico Beach, and you can go there any time of the day going to that area. So that's the top one. And tomorrow, or maybe the next day, I'll give you some of the others. And I do want to mention Fitzhugh Carter Track. This time it's up off Highway 77. My friend Callie up there in Graceville, she was called the other day and asked about it. It's right here. It's in the Eastern Final Wildlife Management Area, and it's over 2,000 acres. But you've seen some video where Scott Lindsay and I have been fishing there, and there's 279 there. But on the right-hand corner, it's Highway 77 around Greenhead. See on the right-hand side, that's Greenhead. So you just take the left or right, whichever way you're coming down Chain Lake Road, and right there you go in. There's a check-in box. So you got these ponds, all these ponds right here. Now we fish what we call dry pond, but you can fish 3 or 4 of those ponds. You can kayak in them. You can't take motors and all, and you can fish from the shore. So that is some really good fishing anywhere around the Fitzhugh Carter Track, especially this time of year. And also hunters hunting. I know turkey hunters hunting there and all. So just want to get permission to do it there. And also, I wanted to show it to you on Google Earth. I've got it right here. So I'm gonna hit Fitzhugh Carter Track, and it's right here. Zooming in on it right here, and it's gonna start. Okay. There's a split road right there, and right there at the house. That's where we check in right there. And let's see. Now this is a better picture of it. You go around these ponds. Okay, they call it dry lake up here at the top right here, and it's going to be. You can see that's just really good fishing in that area there, and all of the whole circle right there in the center. That's Highway 279 right there. So coming in here, and there's Greenhead. So there's the road you're coming in on. That's Highway 77. So I just want to share that with you. Some good places to go fishing this weekend, next couple of weeks, especially this weekend. Really good stuff. Now at the station, you got to check in and you go to the website. And they give you all the details on when it's open and all that. But it's well maintained, and they supervise it well, and there's some good fish in there. Okay, let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at the time this morning. Let me see. We're looking at 5:59 to 7:59. We'll say from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and this evening from 6:25 to 8:25. And I was looking for my notes here. The FWC meeting is next week. Oh, I say next week. Let's see. I got it right here. Okay. October 2021. This is 2021. They're going to be this meeting. They're going to have it over in St. Augustine, and you just sort of. I won't read you all the notes, but it's a big. I want to just show you some of the things they're going to go over. It's going to be Wednesday, October the 6th. Okay, which is next Wednesday. But I was thumbing through this last night, sort of going through it and seeing what all they're doing. The first part of any kind of civic meeting or club meeting, they do all the awards and that kind of stuff. But now they're going to talk about the Goliath grouper, and that's a big deal. They're thinking about making it legal for a short period of time. Now the big thing, the public comment, this was funny, the public comment will be limited to no more than 2 hours. Most organizations has it limited to 3 minutes. I cannot picture anybody talking 2 hours on something. And now the other thing they're going to talk about is a redfish, and they're taking the status of it, and that's going to be public comment on that will be 1 hour. So they had that redfish summit right there. Remember that redfish summit they had recently? They're taking all the information and they're just putting it out there. And then next we're going to talk about sharks. They're going to just talk about different ones and public comment for 1 hour, and shark management history. I really like this. Will be a good one. And then the management area. So you know what I'm hoping for. Right here, topics include red snapper. So I'm hoping they're going to come up with some kind of, from that meeting, I'm hoping and I'm thinking they're going to come out with something about a fall snapper season. They'll decide then whether to have fall snapper or not. And then different things, recess, and so anyway, budget and all that. But those are some of the things. And also largemouth bass. They're talking about freshwater largemouth bass and different things like that. So those meetings, they meet in different areas of the state. If they're over here toward Tallahassee or something, that'd be a good one to go to. That's in St. Augustine, but they rotate them. But what they do is take all the information the researchers do and the public comment they have, and then they make these decisions on that. And the framework they have is a good framework as far as making decisions. We don't agree with them sometimes, but anyway, it's important that we go ahead and always give our comments on it. So I'm interested in this next Wednesday. We're going to find out something then about fall snapper. I feel good about. And also this was also last year at this meeting. This is when they set up the flounder rule that we're undergoing now. October, it's closing October 15th. What's that? 3 weeks from now. We have left in flounder season. Never had this problem. I wouldn't say problem. Well, never had a season this short in flounder management. But what they did, they've got all the input from the stakeholders like us and their researchers. And last year, they found out there was just a sharp decline in the flounder population. And also they'll find out that a lot of folks were going ahead and especially during the spawning period, going especially out into the Gulf, and we've talked about it before, how they're just getting, stacking them up and getting a flounder. So anyway, that's going to be. But speaking of flounder, I was thinking last night, I want to go ahead and in these next 3 weeks, I want to show you some hot spots to go, legally to go, and also you can go ahead and I'm going to start in the western interviewing area. Again, what we call Crab Island right here. What they're doing now, the flounder are gathering up and they're headed out the passes into the Gulf to go spawn. And so you obviously want to get your areas right here. And believe it or not, this basin right here has this Destin Harbor Basin. I've talked to some folks over there, and they actually, believe it or not, I didn't believe it, but they actually gig flounder. See these little canals, these man-made canals. I don't know if I'd eat anything coming out of Destin Harbor But anyway, the flounder, they actually gig flounder, and some of the old timers really gigged them around this area here. So anyway, you can walk along the shoreline, and if you want to just walk along and flounder gig, you can. So that's a good place coming out of Chalktassia Bay. And I would like to see, know if people are still getting around. West Bay is it's not clear. The water's clear, but it's still got a muddy bottom. So the big thing to do right now, if I was going to focus, I would focus right here in St. Andrew Bay, because they're all got to come this area here. And we've talked about, again, I've talked about Deepwater Point right there in the middle of the screen. There's Deepwater Point right there. So they're going to come by here, and you can walk. Again, you can walk. They're going to come out of Grand Lagoon. You wonder how in the world they get up there in Grand Lagoon with all that, but they'll come out of Grand Lagoon and come out of this pass right here. All right, let's move on down quickly. Also the canal, Mexico Beach. The Mexico Beach, you can walk along the area of Mexico Beach because it's coming out of St. Joe Bay, and walk along this area here, walking, and get them. And also the Mexico Beach. There's not, right here in the center screen, there's not that many flounder there. I wouldn't waste your time coming into that area, seriously. Okay, quickly moving on down, I'm gonna run out of time, and maybe we'll talk about this. Indian Pass always has a good one. The water is a little muddy here, but coming out of way down here, behind St. George Island, that pass right there, on those 2 points, right there in the middle, those 2 points right there. On the left is St. George Island State Park, so you can fish there. Excellent place to go fishing for flounder, right in there. Okay, I'm gonna run out of time. So anyway, I didn't mean to spend so much time on flounder, but it's so important that you get a mindset now. You can't go in November, can't go in December, so you got to go the next couple of weeks if you want to do any kind of flounder fishing or flounder gigging. So, and live bull minnows is the best way to catch them, but the old timers also just use little jigs and caught a bunch of them. Okay, we're going to wrap it up for today. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's show and today's show. Yesterday we're informing you. Today hopefully we entertained you, and that's our goal, to inform and entertain our viewers. You have a great day today, and do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.